Okay, now we're going to talk about meditation, the most important aspect of Buddhist practice. The only way that we are really able to see the truth of our existence. We go through some of the basic knowledge of Buddhist meditation first, and then through the practical aspects. Okay. Buddhism, the teaching of all the Buddhas. Avoid evil, do good, purify our minds. Then purify our minds through meditation. Meditation, let me run through what meditation is not first. Then you can get a clearer idea of what meditation is. Because meditation is about meditation. So meditation is not to get high. But if you meditate, you will get very pleasant feelings of calm, peacefulness, and peace. Meditation is not going into a trance, but it will increase the self-awareness of our body, of our physical actions, of our feelings, of our mental states and thoughts. Meditation is also not to acquire psychic powers, although some people tell you that it is possible. In fact, for some of these Thai forest monks, they are reputed to have psychic powers because of their meditation. But the objective of meditation is not to acquire psychic powers, but to see the reality, the truth of our existence, and to gain psychic powers, but to see the reality, the truth of our existence, and to gain peace and happiness. So meditation is not to acquire psychic powers, but we will better manage and reduce our stress, our anxiety, our frustration, and our fix of practicing meditation. And also, meditation will not make you insane, as some people from the other religions claim, because some people say, you better not meditate, you grow mad and all that. Evil spirits will enter your mind. So meditation definitely, but we will be able to see things more clearly, to see the true nature of our existence, and to eventually attain enlightenment. Because the Buddha attained enlightenment not through practicing generosity, not through practicing morality, but through the practice of meditation. Practicing morality, but through the practice of meditation. And meditation is not just sitting on the floor with a blank mind. Meditation is actually a whole range of mental activities which encompass mental development. So let's come back to the Noble Eightfold Path again. As you know, right speech, right action, livelihood, morality group, right mindfulness, right concentration, and mental development, right understanding, right thought is the group. So morality is the foundation of everything. Morality is the basis. Without morality, we can never make any progress. Some level of morality, then we can practice meditation, mental development. With our practice of mental development, we can acquire greater wisdom and understanding. And when we have greater wisdom and understanding, we see the importance of morality. Our morality gets better. Once our morality gets better again, we meditate better. We are able to cultivate our mental development better. And of course, once that happens, we get greater wisdom and understanding, and then we are able to attain stream entry, as what I mentioned the last lesson. And then finally, Nibbana. So, mental development minds, not just merely concentration meditation, not just merely sitting on the floor, but a whole range of effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Go into this one by one. I start with right concentration. So, right concentration is the mental training of discipline, concentration, tranquility, and awareness. So firstly, we need a bit of discipline, right? We must make an effort to go and sit down to meditate. So that requires some discipline. And of course, we need a bit of concentration to focus our mind on the meditation object, whatever that meditation object is. And through that, we can develop some tranquility, a bit of peace. And then from that, we are able to create a greater awareness of ourselves, our thoughts, our sensations, our feelings. Just to explain this term called jhana, most of you may have come across this term. If you go into concentration, meditation deeply, you may attain jhana, which is a state of deep concentration, whereby the mind is fully absorbed in the meditation object. But this is just something not that important in the meditation practice. It's something which you may not attain. So Buddhist meditation is actually classified into two types, two groups. The first one is samatha or concentration meditation, which most people are familiar with. Usually think of concentration meditation. The other form of meditation, which is the far more important form of vipassana or insight meditation. There are 40 types of meditation objects in samatha or concentration meditation. Some of these objects can be like colors, can be like fire, can be like your own body, the 32 parts of the body. It can be contemplating on the virtues of the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Any objects, any of the 40 types of meditation objects. So these are the notes which I'll give you later, what these meditation objects are. So for samatha concentration meditation, one of the most commonly practiced form of samatha meditation nowadays is the practice of metta or loving kindness meditation. So metta actually means the desire for all beings without exception, visible, invisible, near or far, to be free from suffering. So it is the unlimited and unconditional desire for all beings to be well and happy. As we develop this meditation practice, you sit down, you have the wish, you repeat, you focus your mind, the desire for all beings to be well and happy. Then we realize also that as we ourselves wish to be well and happy, different from all other beings, even animals for that matter, even the invisible beings for that matter. They wish to be well and happy. We also wish to be well and happy. We wish to be well and happy, so do they also wish to be. So the practice of metta meditation is to radiate this loving kindness to all beings in existence, whether they are small, medium or large, visible or invisible, near or far. This is contained in the Metta Sutta, how we should practice metta. But the practice is actually, we radiate this metta, this desire to ourselves first. Because if we do not know the feeling of metta, how can we send metta? How can we radiate metta to other beings? If we cannot love ourselves, if we cannot have metta for ourselves, then how can we even think about having loving kindness for other beings? We must know the feeling ourselves first. Then we can send it out to all other beings. So what happens is that you just focus this thought in the center of your chest. Usually you just put your attention in the area of your chest just next to your heart. So you just visualize this white glowing light is the representative of your metta. So you just send this metta out to all beings. May all beings be well and happy. May all beings be free from physical and mental suffering. How I like to do it is this formula. May all beings be May all beings be safe from harm. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from physical and mental suffering. And may all beings be free from greed, hatred and delusion. So you just repeat this, concentrate this, and you radiate this out to all beings in existence. But the important thing is that metta must also be practiced with our actions. So people think you just do metta can already, may all beings be well and happy, and then nothing else. That's about it. But you must also practice metta. Like if you're walking on the street, happy, may you be well and happy. You must also help the person. So it's not just a practice of meditation, but it's also to be practiced in your daily life. Right? So now we come to what is vipassana meditation. It is usually recognized that it is only through the practice of vipassana or insight meditation that we can realize and understand the Buddha's teachings and to see things as they truly are. It is the practice of vipassana that leads directly to the development of the other factors in mental development, the other factors of right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. So the difference is, concentration meditation, you're focused only on one object. Then you put all your concentration on that object and you shut everything out. For vipassana, it's the opposite. Vipassana, you open yourself up, you are aware as well as everything that is going on with yourselves. So to explain further, vipassana, the term in Pali, passana means seeing. So Vipassana means to see things clearly or to see things. This is the meaning, the Pali meaning of Vipassana. To attain the insights of the true nature of reality of our existence. To see the three characteristics of existence. Dukkha, unsatisfactoriness. Anicca, impermanence, anatta, nonsense. Meditation is called insight meditation because you gain insights into the true nature of existence. Some people think it's insight, I-N-S-I-D-E, insight meditation, but it's not. It's insight meditation because as you meditate, these things come to you, and it really does come to you because I can tell you this through personal experience. You just practice it properly, and it really, really works. These insights do really come to you. So let me go into something called the 5 hindrances. These are something which we will encounter as we practice meditation. These are negative states of mind which impede meditation. The first, sensual desire. The second, anger or ill will. Then sloth and torpor, restlessness and worry, skeptical doubt. Just to give some examples. These things impede meditation, like sensual desire. People want to be comfortable. So you sit on the floor, you have to go and inconvenience yourself. You can be doing something else, you can be out with your friends. Meditation, your sensual desire. So you have to overcome this a little bit before you even start to practice meditation. I mean, like your friends ask, hey, don't go and go meditation retreat, or don't go and learn meditation, go out and enjoy yourself and all that. So this is sensual desire which impedes meditation. The next is anger or ill will. Sometimes there's a lot of aversion. In meditation, this aversion refers to uncomfortable feelings. Because when you meditate, you sit still in one posture, even though you sit in a chair or you sit on the floor, you're sure to have some feelings of discomfort. And you cannot take these feelings of discomfort. A bit pain only, you want to get up, you want to give up. So this is your anger or ill will, your aversion towards discomfort. So you must be able to overcome at least a bit. I mean, nobody is saying to sit there and go and kill yourself with pain, but you must be able to at least have some tolerance of discomfort. Because like most of us, but after a while, you will get used to it, and then you will feel comfortable for at least a short space of time. Of course, if you really cannot sit on the floor, then you sit on a chair. But I don't think you sit on a chair, you'll be very comfortable, because after a while, you shall feel uncomfortable again, because you are sitting still in one posture. Sloth and torpor means generally laziness. You can't get yourself moving. You rather go and sleep than to go and meditate. Sometimes you feel sleepy, you want to give up. So you must be able to overcome this at least a little bit. Restlessness and worry. You feel restless, you don't want to sit there, you want to go and do something else. And then skeptical doubt, the last one. You doubt whether this meditation thing really works or not. Am I wasting my time? Is it true? Is this really something which I'm cut out to do? Am I suited for this? So these are the skeptical doubts which may assail you. This to a certain extent, these 5 hindrances. So these 5 hindrances can be temporarily suppressed by samatha or concentration meditation. Because when you focus on one object continually, your mind will go to that object and then shut out everything. But of course, afterwards, come back to you again. But these 5 hindrances can be gradually and permanently eradicated through the practice of vipassana or insight meditation. Because through this practice, then you can see clearly these 5 hindrances, what they are, how they hinder you. And then once you see it clearly, then you can overcome them. Okay, an example is maybe like samatha or concentration meditation. You avoid these 5 hindrances. But for vipassana meditation, you see it clearly and directly. So the more you see things clearly and directly, then the more easier it is to overcome things. So these can be permanently eradicated by vipassana meditation, because vipassana, as I mentioned, allows us to see things as they truly are. Then you can eradicate these negative aspects of your mind. So coming back to meditation, you do not lead long meditation sessions to begin with. What I tell people is, we shouldn't expect anyone to straight away go and sit for 2 hours. You kill yourself. But you just start 10-20 minutes will do. I've come across some straight away. Cannot, what? Ridiculous, what? Right? You suffer and then you give up. And then especially for people like us, not used to sitting on the floor. You go and try to sit on the floor for 2 hours, you're going to kill yourself and then you're going to give up. So don't do that. Go step by step. This is how my teacher teach me also. Take it slow and gradually, and then you build up from there. 10-20 minutes for a start, much more beneficial than if you go and try to force yourself to sit for 1 hour, 2 hours. So what I tell people is that even if you can't sit for 10 minutes, sit for 5 minutes. Even if you can't sit for 5 minutes, sit for 2 minutes. You can't sit for 2 minutes, sit for 1 minute. You can't sit for 1 minute, sit down and then breathe in and out for 10 times. For 1 minute, sit down and then breathe in and out for 10 times. That is also meditation. So you just start small, gradually, and then you work yourself up from there. So meditation can be said to be the highest form of Buddhist practice because the Buddha himself attained enlightenment through meditation. So this is something which we should really all consider to contribute on concentration, right concentration. Now we come to right mindfulness. Right mindfulness consists of something called the 4 foundations of mindfulness. Mindfulness in Pali means sati, S-A-T-I, sati, a very important term, try to keep in mind. So the 4 foundations means that we try to be aware of our body, we try to be aware of our feelings, we try to be aware of our mind, and we try to be aware of the Dharma. And this is something which we must do at all times, if possible. We should try to be aware of in the 4 classical postures: sitting, standing, walking, and lying down. This just means that we should practice mindfulness all the time, if possible. Even for myself, as I'm standing there, I try to be aware. My hand is moving, my lips are moving, what I'm thinking, I'm looking at you. So we try to be aware of conditions of mindfulness. So like, you go to the toilet, you're aware you're going to the toilet. You're eating, you're aware you're eating. You're standing, you're aware you're standing. Like when you're walking from one point to another, be aware of walking from one point to another. This is just to create sati, mindfulness of your body, of your feelings, of your mind. The body means your bodily postures. As your body moves, you are aware. Be aware of feelings means be aware of positive, negative, or neutral feelings. Sometimes pain, you're aware of pain. Pleasant feelings, pleasant sensations, you note them, you are aware that you are enjoying a pleasant sensation. Neutral feeling, also you try to be enjoying a pleasant sensation. Neutral feeling, also you try to be aware. This of course is easier said than done. I tell you, within a few minutes you forget. But it's something which can be cultivated through practice. And then be aware of the mind means be aware of your mental states. You're happy, be aware you're happy. You're sad, be aware that you're frustrated, be aware you're frustrated. Be aware of the Dharma means, for example, being aware of the 3 characteristics. Sometimes be aware of anicca. Something happens, some changes in your life, you just call to mind anicca. Something not so pleasant happens to you, you just call to mind dukkha, unsatisfactoriness. Then non-self, and then of course other things, you can be aware of the 4 Noble Truths, be aware of the Eightfold Path, just to be aware of the Dharma as and when you can. And in all postures, sitting, standing, walking, lying down, all the time if you can. So this actually is the whole practice of vipassana meditation. That means when you're practicing it's the whole practice of vipassana meditation. That means when you're practicing vipassana meditation, it's not just sitting on the floor, it's not just sitting meditation, it's not just walking meditation, but it's actually the practice of everything you do in your life. So that is the 4 foundations of mindfulness, practice of vipassana meditation. Third aspect of mental development is right effort. Effort is the mental discipline. Number 1, prevent unwholesome thoughts from arising. To dispel unwholesome thoughts that have arisen. To develop wholesome thoughts and to maintain those wholesome thoughts that have arisen. That means we try to prevent negative thoughts. Like sometimes you are angry with someone, then you hope something bad happens to that person. These are of course no good. Right? If these thoughts have already arisen, then you try to get rid of them. But before you do that, you must also be aware of the function of your mind, right? You must also be aware of what is happening in your mind, what you're thinking. And how you develop that, as I mentioned, through the practice of vipassana meditation. So not only unwholesome thoughts, but also wholesome thoughts. Thoughts of generosity, thoughts of sympathetic joy. When other people are happy, you are happy for them. And then once you have developed those thoughts, then you try to maintain those thoughts that have arisen. So this is right effort. So how we develop this, as I mentioned, is through mindfulness. Through mindfulness, vipassana. Be mindful of what you're thinking, what you're doing, what you are saying. So, to prevent unwholesome thoughts from arising, you practice mindfulness. To dispel thoughts that have arisen, you practice mindfulness. To develop wholesome thoughts, you practice mindfulness of the Dharma. Generosity, morality, loving kindness, equanimity, sympathetic joy. Mindfulness of the Dharma. Right view also you can consider. Wholesome thoughts that have arisen, also mindfulness of the Dharma. So this is developed through right effort. So now I'm going to bring up something called the 5 powers of enlightenment. The Buddha taught us these 5 powers of enlightenment, which leads, well, to enlightenment now, obviously. So what are these? So what are these 5 powers? Number 1 is faith. Number 2, energy. The 3rd, mindfulness. The 4th, concentration. And the 5th, knowledge or wisdom. So let's go a bit more into detail for these 5 powers of enlightenment and see how they relate to each other and see how they relate to meditation. So the first one is faith. Again, in Buddhism, blind faith is discouraged. We do not encourage blind faith, unthinking worship. Faith here means faith with, then that develops your faith. So the other aspect is knowledge. Knowledge about the Dharma, knowledge about the Buddha's teachings. So but the thing is that faith and knowledge must be balanced. If a person has too much faith, too much blind faith, then he will be stuck there. If a person has too much knowledge, not develop faith. So faith must always be tempered with knowledge. Blind faith, no good. You must have some knowledge to balance up with it. Too much knowledge, also not so good. You must have a bit of faith to carry you through the practice. Because people, they just study, they never practice, also useless. So faith, they just study, they never practice, also useless. So faith and knowledge must be balanced in Buddhism. The other 2 aspects of the 5 powers of enlightenment is energy and concentration. Too much energy, no good, because you can never sit down and meditate. You'll be too busy doing this dana, this activity, that activity. Also no good. You spend all your time meditating, you can never cultivate compassion. I mean, some people are really like that. They just want to meditate, they don't care about society, they don't care about other people, they don't do charitable works, they don't help others. So these 2 must be balanced. You must have enough energy, you must have enough concentration. Then we left out one, right? There's still one which I haven't covered. The last one is called mindfulness. The other 4 must be balanced. Whereas mindfulness, you can never have too much. You can never have too much mindfulness. So faith must be balanced with knowledge. Knowledge must be balanced with faith. Energy and concentration must with knowledge. Knowledge must be balanced with faith. Energy and concentration must also be balanced. But mindfulness, the more, the better. The greater the mindfulness you have, the better. So why do I say that? Why is mindfulness so much more important than all the other 4 powers of? Let me just through what we mean by mindfulness again. Mindfulness can be also called awareness, can be also called heedfulness. There's this story. King Pasenadi, one of the kings during the Buddha's time, asked the Buddha, is there any one quality that keeps both benefits in this life and benefits in lives to come? So the Buddha said, mindfulness is the one quality that keeps both kinds of benefits secure. Benefits in this life and benefits in lives to come. So this is how important mindfulness is. Because if you are not mindful, as what we mentioned just now, you can see anything, right? You can think anything, right? So this is what happens when you are not mindful. But if you are mindful, then you are in control of all your actions of body, speech and mind. And if you are in control of your actions of body, speech and mind, this will protect you in your this life and in all your future lives. Because you don't do bad things, you don't do evil things, you don't harm others. And then on the other hand, you cultivate yourself, you do good things for your own benefit or for the benefit to others. So that's why the Buddha said mindfulness is the one quality that keeps both kinds of benefits secure, benefits in this life and all our future lives to come. So we have seen right effort, future lives to come. So we have seen right effort, then we have seen right mindfulness, seen right concentration. And all these three things comprise of mental development. So when people say the Noble Eightfold Path, right concentration, they call it the concentration group. This is actually not so accurate. More accurate should be mental development, because concentration is only one aspect of. So through morality, we are the foundation of everything. Through mental development, this is how we train our minds. And our minds, we acquire wisdom to see things as they truly are, because we acquire right understanding and right thought. Right understanding is to understand the Four Noble Truths. Right thought is to cultivate right view, is to cultivate compassion, loving kindness, thoughts of renunciation, all the correct thoughts in goodness, thoughts of renunciation, all the correct thoughts in Buddhism. Okay, so this is the Noble Eightfold Path, the three groups of the Noble Eightfold Path. Any questions, brother? Okay, meditation, right? Mindfulness meditation, vipassana meditation. To be aware of the body, to be aware of feelings, to be aware of the mind, to be aware of the Dharma. Sometimes when you meditate, not necessarily can be practiced anywhere, anytime. Some people ask, must you meditate before a Buddha image? Must you meditate in a meditation hall? You can meditate actually anywhere, in your own room. I meditate in my own room, no Buddha image, no nothing, just four walls. You can meditate as you're standing anywhere, or you can also meditate. You can come to temple and meditate. If not, even in your office, you can sit there 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just calm your mind, focus on your breath, which I will teach you later. Sometimes it's also good to go out of a comfortable situation, because any fool can meditate in a meditation hall, right? Aircon, comfortable, no insects, no nothing, nobody disturb hall, right? Aircon, comfortable, no insects, no nothing, nobody disturb you, just sit there, meditate calmly. Easy. But sometimes you can go out, go other places to meditate. Sometimes you can see me, those new moon, full moon day, Chui Chapgo. You go and meditate, Waterloo Street, Kuan Yin Temple. You know Kuan Yin Temple, chanting, throwing all those sticks and all that. You can meditate there. It's a good experience actually. The reason why I started to meditate there is because one day I went there. I saw this Indian fellow. Wow, so peaceful, meditating. If this fellow can do it, so can I. So I go and try. So you don't care what people think of you. You just sit there, cross your legs, put your arms together. Different feelings. You can hear, you can note the sounds. All the people bump into you, all the noise, discomfort. Sometimes it's very hot there. So this is something which breaks you out of things which you are too used to. So it's good to experience this sort of things, go out to meditate. In fact, 1 or 2 years ago, we also went to the cemetery to meditate. You know the cemetery at Adam Road, the Kopi. Okay, we went there one day through with this group of people from Palilai Temple. So I was invited to go to this cemetery meditation. So find out this Ajahn King there. So okay, let's go to the cemetery to meditate. I think about 20 of us. So at night. So it's at night. So we supposed to meet about 7 plus Then we go there in the convoy few cars. So reach there about 8 o'clock And then it's quite deep in, so it's very dark. And then it's those old Chinese cemetery those quite spooky places. So about 20 of us, we went there. We meditate So before I went, I thought, okay what's the big deal? You go cemetery, you all sit outside the cemetery together, go and chant, meditate. So what? Easy, right? Nothing to be afraid of. Then only when I went there, then I asked the monk. So I asked the monk. They said, no, you all go inside the cemetery itself and meditate. So scared a bit already, but never mind Since so many people there, right? So fine So we all go About 20, some experienced meditators, some new ones. I think half experienced, half never been before So of course I'm one of those that never been before So go there, all those small paths through the car, then we stop. There was another monk from Malaysia also followed us. I think he also never been to this cemetery meditation. Quite a nice monk, quite a cheerful monk, speak English also. This Ajahn King, don't know whether you met him, he's quite tall, used to be an army. This Ajahn King, don't know whether you met him, he's quite tall, used to be an army commando or something like that, so quite a tough fellow. So we all come out of the cars in the path, and then the cemetery, all the graves on the right and the left. At night lah, so it's pitch black, we had our torches and all that. So Ajahn King said, okay, experienced one, you all go lah. So all the experience all dissipate into all the... So okay lah, all of us follow. The new ones, about 10 of us follow him lah. Plus that monk lah, the new monk. Then he saw the monk, say, you follow me for what? You are a monk, no, go and find your own way. So the monk, okay. Then go by himself. Then he said the new ones, okay, follow him. So we follow him lah. So then he started pointing to us. I'm the first one. You sit there. Sit on top of the grave. Those Chinese graves with the harm and then the headstone and all that, right? Sit there, sit on top. Then my Amy, I don't know whether you know Amy Tan, she was next. You sit there. So a few Amy Tan, she was next. You sit there. So a few meters away, not close though, a few graves away, you sit there. Then he go around pointing like, you sit here, you sit there, sit on the grave. So okay lah, I don't care lah, I'm not that afraid. So I just go and sit on top of the grave. So you know the dead person that remains of the day. Then I sit ready. Then I saw her, looking like I can see her lah. Wow, she's quite smart. She kneeled down there, asked for permission first. So she asked permission for the whoever that is, the person there, may I sit on the grave? Excuse me lah, but I didn't do that lah. Anyway, once I sit there already, then I do metta lah, may all beings be well and happy, so on and so forth. So it's a very good experience because it's something totally out of the ordinary, something which you never get to experience at any other times. So you sit there, at first it's quite scary. Of course it's scary, you sit on the grave, the body, the remains, underneath you. Quite scary. Of course it's scary, you sit on the grave, the body, the remains, underneath you. Everybody is scattered around and all that. So you practice your metta first, and then you see the fear rising, you note fear rising, because you will never see this unless you go through all these experiences. So you note the fear rising, you do your metta, and then after you calm down, you do your rising, falling, and then it turns out that was one of the best meditation sessions I've ever experienced. Really, really very calm, very clear. Your mind becomes so clear after a while. Once you overcome this fear, then you just sit there calmly, and then your mind becomes so calm and clear. So after about went off lah. So that was a very, very interesting experience, which is totally out of the ordinary. So next time, whoever want to go, you can call me, that we can all go together. So we went back. Then there's a second part to that story lah. Let me just go on. So I think a couple of weeks later, we heard from some of the other people. I told you there are two groups. So the experienced meditators, some young guys. We heard from them later on that one of the young guys, he was telling his friends, after he sat down at the grave to meditate, after a while he calmed down already, he heard a voice. His voice said, "Brother, may I join you?" He heard the voice, "Brother, may I join you?" And he was scared to death, almost fainted. So he noted fear, rising, falling, then chant Buddho, Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato, all that. So then I think he must have been fierce throughout the whole session. Then after that, the monk, like I said, called everybody to go off. Then he finally dared to open his eyes. So you know what he saw? He saw, actually his friend came late. So lucky this guy, young guy, strong heart, he's an old man. I think really he conquered from a heart attack or something like that. So next time you all go to these places, don't do so stupid things. Okay, anyway, that's just the story. Interesting, you can go through all these different experiences. In meditation. So if no questions, then I'll go through the practical aspect of meditation. I'm going to teach you Vipassana meditation. The technique of Vipassana meditation I'm going to teach you is the rising and falling of the abdomen. This is taught by Mahasi Sayadaw, one of the greatest meditation masters. From Burma, which is used widely nowadays all over the world. Okay, there's two anchors. This is called the anchor. Either you focus on the breath entering and exiting your nostril. That means when you breathe, you can feel the slight sensation of the breath. Point just about 2 fingers breath below your belly button. That means your belly button here, right? Just 2 fingers below. Just a spot 2 fingers below your belly button. That is the focus of meditation according to the rising and falling method. The reason why this method works so well for many people is that because this moves. For the other form of meditation, this is a static point. You don't really observe much, just focus on one point which doesn't move. Whereas this moves. So when you breathe in, this moves out a little bit. And when you breathe out, this moves in a little bit. So that is rising and falling. When you breathe in, you draw your breath a little bit. So that is rising and falling. When you breathe in, you draw your breath down with your diaphragm through your abdomen. When you breathe in, that moves out slightly. That is rising. And then when you breathe out, that moves in slightly. That is falling. So if you can't feel it, for those of you who have never tried this, you can just put your finger here and then you try for yourself. So that you can observe, you can experience different phenomena about the rising and falling. But this sort of thing you must experience for yourself. The teacher will hardly ever tell you what to look out for. But these things changes. Once this changes, you can observe, means you can see things differently already. Okay, sit up with your feet flat on the ground. Sit up straight, but don't lean back, but not too stiff. Just sit up straight comfortably, then your feet straight. Okay? So this is rising and falling. Okay, when you breathe in, that point moves out slightly. When you breathe out, that point moves in slightly. So that is rising, falling, falling. I'm going to teach you this thing first. This is a prelude which we use. Watch me. First, put your hands on your laps. What I'm going to tell you is, this is a prelude just to observe yourself, observe your mind. So I'm going to tell you this, intending to raise. When I say this, you raise your left arm. You feel your left arm going up. And then intending to bring in. And then intending to bring in. Then you feel your hand moving in slowly, slowly, slowly. And then I'm going to say intending to turn. Then you turn your wrist slowly. Feel the turning action. Feel your bones moving. And then intending to lower. Then you lower your hand, lower your arm. Feel it moving through the air. Lower your arm. Feel it moving through the air. Then I'm going to say intending to set down. That means you know that tension. You know that your mind is going to tell your hand to set down. So you just set down your hand slowly on your lap. And then likewise for the other hand, I'm going to say intending to raise up. Then you're going to raise up. Intending to bring in your hand slowly. You can do this much slower in your home, when you're at home. So you just feel the movements and intending to turn, slowly turn. Then intending to lower down. Then intending to set down, then you set down. Then you just bring yourself to a comfortable position. Okay? So this is what we're going to do then. I will guide you through right now. Then we're going to do maybe about 10 minutes or so. Okay, so you all can just relax yourself. You can close your eyes if you wish. So I'm going to just dim the lights. So you just put your 2 hands on your laps first. We're going to go through that short exercise. So your left group go through that short exercise. So your left hand first, intending to lift up your left hand. So lift up your left hand slowly. Just feel your left hand going up through the air slowly. Be aware of the movement. Hand slowly towards your chest. Then intending to turn your wrist over slowly. Feel the bones moving. Feel the turning action. Now intending to lower slowly. Now intending to set down, then feel your hand setting down on your lap. Then likewise, the other hand, intending to raise up. So you raise it up slowly, feel it moving through the air. Now intending to bring it in slowly towards your chest. Now intending to turn your wrist over slowly, feeling the bones moving if you can. Now intending to lower slowly, feel your hand moving through the air. Now intending to set down, so you feel your hand touching the other hand. Okay, now you settle down. Bring your attention to the top of your head, to the crown of your head. focus your attention to the top of your head. Then bring your attention down through your face, through your forehead. You can feel your forehead is very tense. Relax the muscles of your forehead. Then bring your attention down through your eyes, the area around your eyes. Then bring your attention down through your eyes, the area around your eyes. The muscles there are very tense. Relax those muscles. Bring your attention down to your cheek muscles. Those are definitely very tense. Around your mouth, your face. Just relax your facial muscles. Then bring your attention down your chest, down your back. Slowly if you wish. Your shoulders, your arms. Relax, release the tension in your shoulders and through your hands. Then bring your attention through your abdomen now. Then down through your thighs, then down to your feet. Feel your feet touching the ground. Be aware of your feet touching the ground. Then bring your attention up again. See your attention upwards from your legs, your thighs, your abdomen, your back, your chest, your hands, your arms, back up to your neck, your head again. Then bring it down again. Bring your attention, sweep your attention down your face, your neck, your shoulders, your chest, your arms, your abdomen, your thighs, back down to your feet. And then bring it up slowly to the point, and then bring it up slowly to the point just below your belly button. That is your anchor, your point which you're going to observe rising and falling. So you just go according to your own breathing. Breathe naturally. As you breathe in, that's rising. As you breathe out, that's falling. So you just, as you breathe out, that's falling. So you just do this for a few minutes. As you become aware of some thoughts entering your mind, you just note thinking, then go back to your meditation object, which is your rising and falling. Sometimes you can hear, so you note 3 times, hearing, so that you know that you are hearing, and then you go back to your meditation object. Sometimes you can feel sensation, sometimes an itch. You just bring your attention to the point where you're itching, note the itching, and then bring it back to your focus on meditation. Sometimes you may not be able to control your itching. You may need to scratch. Just be aware that you intend to scratch mindfully, and then bring your attention back to the meditation object. Sometimes it's that there's a bit of pain if you're sitting on the floor. Just move, but move pain if you're sitting on the floor. Just move, but move mindfully to adjust the pain, and then bring your attention back to your meditation object. So we'll do this for a few minutes now. Okay, we are coming to the end of our meditation session, but do not. You can open your eyes, but be aware of the intention that you are going to open your eyes. Be aware of the intention to open your eyes. Open them slowly. Be aware that you are opening your eyes slowly. And then as you open your eyes, be aware of seeing. Be aware that you are seeing now. Okay, so how was that? Anybody fell asleep? No one snored. Okay, this is just a very small taste of Vipassana. Vipassana meditation. I'm sure most of you experience your mind wandering here, wandering there, thinking this, thinking that. So this is natural for everybody that is starting out. The tendency for the mind to wander. So the mind wandering is just the mind doing its natural things. You must be aware your mind is wandering, and then you just keep on doing this. It's a matter of practice. You just have to get used to it through practice. Okay, this sort of thing you must really make an effort. Because like one of my friends, he actually asked me how to do this meditation. So I kind of taught him, because he's got quite a bad temper. He drives, or that he always scold people, how to do this meditation. So I think a few months later I met him. Then he told me, your meditation doesn't work at all. I still get angry, I still scold people, I'm still hot-tempered. Your meditation is lousy, it doesn't work. So I said, okay, fine. How many times did you do? Then he said, 3 times. So 3 times yourself, impossible, right? I mean, even though you go and learn driving, also you're going to take a few months. You play golf, also you're going to go and take a few months to go and learn. Learn how to play the piano, also you're going to take lessons. So it's likewise like meditation. You can't play the piano straight away. You can't go and drive straight away. It takes time, it takes practice. You have to learn and practice. So in meditation, it works. You have to learn and practice. So in meditation, it works. But you have to be consistent. You have to practice. You have to make an effort towards it. So at least try, like I said, maybe 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. If not, then just a few minutes a day will be very good already. Any more questions?
Hello, you see?
Any more questions?
Hello, you see? On something higher than the floor. But if you go outside on to the sanitary, even flooring, actually it's more difficult.
Okay, sitting. I think the point you're trying to bring up is sitting how you...
So used to sitting a cushion.
Yes.
On the floor, sit on the floor.
Yeah.
So if you go to outside, there's no cushion.
Yeah, that's the thing, you see. Precisely when you go outside, there's no cushion. So it is up to each individual to practice. This is precisely what I discovered for myself. Because you go to a meditation retreat, you practice meditation in the temple. Go to a meditation retreat, you practice meditation in the temple. Yeah, they give you a nice cushion to sit. But if you go outside and meditate, no cushion, so how are you going to sit? So what I did is, I trained myself to sit without anything. It's difficult to get used to. Even you sit on the ground with a cushion, also you have to get used to it. Not say you sit on the hard ground, concrete ground or whatever, without even any cushion. But this is a matter of training, it's a matter of getting used to. You can sit on a cushion, it helps for a start. Get used to it, get the proper technique of meditation first, and then after that, whether or not you want to sit in a cushion, or whether or not you want to sit on the floor, then it's up to you. But it's just that I find it more flexible if you can sit on the floor without any point about the cemetery. Actually, it's far more comfortable there because, those Chinese cemeteries, a big curve is like a hum, right? So, actually, very nice to sit. Sorry, you're going to say something else?
I mean, of course, you reach a certain level, no matter how discomfortable, you can still do it. But beginning stage, I think, very difficult.
I agree with you. Beginning stage is, of course, the most difficult. But it's up to you. You try 5 minutes first. Then there's a pain, you note the pain, observe the pain, observe the aches, and then afterward, if you need to shift, then be aware of your intention to shift. Observe the aches, and then afterward, if you need to shift, then be aware of your intention to shift your posture, then shift mindfully, and then come back to it. Well, of course, you don't a bit pain, you go and shift. You try to sustain the pain, try to tolerate the pain for a bit more than you usually will do. Then this is how you develop yourself. But don't force yourself, because some sit on the chair. Because some people, they teach you must have a lot of pain to meditate, you must go through a lot of torture, all that, overcome the pain, then you are a good meditator. But that's not the case, because meditation is a training of the mind, not the body. Sure, you may say that to overcome the pain is to also train your mind. But you must see the culture of the people. Indian culture, you come from a Burmese culture, you come from a Thai culture. They sit on the floor from when they're young, so what's the big deal for them? But for us, Western society, Western culture, all that, you sit on the floor for 5-10 minutes, if you're not used to it, it's going to be very painful. So it's just a matter of your pain tolerance. Some people, the pain tolerance is very high, okay, good. If your pain tolerance is low, okay, never. Physically unable to sit on the floor, then sit on a chair, even better than nothing. Because it's a matter of training your mind, the awareness of your mind, not to go and kill yourself with pain. So even short meditation session, you do it consistently, it also works very well. Like my teacher in Thailand, they don't stress on very long meditation very well. Like my teacher in Thailand, they don't stress on very long meditation sessions. They start off 15-minute walking, 15 minutes sitting. 15-minute walking, 15 minutes sitting. After a while, then you do half an hour of each, and then up to an hour of each, maximum 1 hour. They don't really encourage more than 1 hour. So it's actually a balance of walking and sitting. But here, we don't really have time to do both. Because actually, sitting helps to develop your concentration. It's the walking that helps to develop your sati, helps to develop your mindfulness. And of course, all your daily activities, you just be aware of what you're doing, that helps to develop your mindfulness. This walking and sitting meditation, vipassana meditation, try to go for it, and then you can learn further from there. But for a start, it's really very good if you can do 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day, just sit at home quietly. You can do it in the morning or evening, it doesn't really matter. In the morning, it's good because your mind is clear. Then if you do it in the evening, sometimes all the things which happen in the day comes to your mind. all the things which happen in the day comes to your mind. But on the other hand, some people, they don't like to do it in the morning because they don't have time, they have to rush for this, rush for that. Then their peaceful time is in the night. So there's no fixed rules, there's no hard and fast rules. You just do it morning, evening, whatever time you're comfortable, in the office, whatever, 10 minutes a day, just start off with that. When it's just a matter of 10 minutes a day, just start off with that. When it's just a matter of practice, just a matter of consistency, that's all. Okay, the other thing is that if you go a bit deeper into this, if you do ever manage to practice consistently, you will see different things. Like some people, they can see fantastic images. Some people even claim to see the Buddha come and talk to them. This is actually a sign of your concentration developing. That's all. A lot of people think, wow, they have reached very high states. But this shows that your concentration has just begun to develop. Like, I came across some people say his wife started to meditate when visited the heavenly realms already. Some people say, wow, I meditate, I'm so good. I say, wow, I meditate, I'm so good. The Buddha even came to talk to me. But no, this is just your mental formations. After you meditate a while, all this will pass away. So if you ever come across these things like lights, images, when I first started, I saw these fantastic images, fantastic seascapes, fantastic sceneries, all these buildings and all this, all that. Fantastic sceneries, all these buildings and all this, all that. If my teacher never tell me, I would thought, oh, I've gone to heaven, I've seen all these things. So, but like I said, this is just mental states, mental formations. You just note, seeing. You just observe, enjoy it, and then after a while, these things will pass away. These things will go away, and then you go back to your rising, falling, rising. For some people, they don't know, they may say that, oh, you've reached this stage, that high level, but actually not the case. You are just beginning only in your meditation practice. What will tell you that you made progress is that when you observe changes in your rising and falling, what the changes are, you have to discover for yourself. That is a real signal, not all those images, not all those. So if there's no other questions, then next week we'll do a bit more. We'll do how to face death, and we'll do a new topic I came up with called the uniqueness of Buddhism, which encapsulates all the teachings. And then the 11th lesson, I'll go through introduction to the Abhidharma and a topic whereby we cover all the other major religions in relation to